What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so the rematch button has been hit. AJ gets a chance to exact some type of revenge over Andy Ruiz Jr. Gets a chance to get his 4 belts back. We don't know where or when yet. I think we're hearing, November or December. So those 2 months are in play. And we're hearing that if the fight is in the UK, and it's not rubber stamped that it will be in the UK, but if it is in the UK, it's either at Wembley, Principality, or Tottenham. Tottenham's new ground is beautiful, by the way. So those are the 3 stadiums that we're hearing about. I have to be honest with you, and I've gone back and forth with a few people on this, so I can't wait to hear what you guys think. I'm very split on AJ fighting Andy Ruiz next. Can't lie, I'm very, very split. As an AJ fan, so this is me thinking with my heart over my head, I'm saying to myself, AJ wasn't 100%. He was about 70% in that ring. 100% AJ will run through Andy Ruiz Jr. That's with my heart. That's a guy that hasn't watched a lot of boxing. That's a guy that's not really thinking. The part of me that is a boxing guy and isn't an AJ fan, but a boxing fan, says to me that a number of people aren't right in the ring, right? A lot of people go in the ring 70, 60%, but still get the job done. A lot of people have been hurt in sparring. I mean, this is what we're hearing about AJ, that he was knocked out or hurt in sparring. A lot of people, world champions, have been hurt in sparring, but on the night, find a way to get the job done. Are we just not giving enough credit to Andy Ruiz Jr.? And that's my fear factor for AJ having an immediate rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. Can Andy Ruiz Jr. not just do that again? I mean, this wasn't a one-punch lucky Hasim Rahman, Oliver McCall situation. This is AJ getting convincingly outboxed, right? There's no 2 ways about it. Getting outboxed convincingly and being put down, I don't know, was it 3 or 4 times? Again, my heart says AJ wasn't correct. If he was correct, he would win. But my head says, and this is my head having watched thousands and thousands and thousands of boxing matches, that, yeah, but Andy Ruiz will do that to AJ again. So I think it's so risky, so risky fighting this guy again. And a lot of people are going to say, but he has to fight him again. He has to get his belts back immediately. And I don't know if he does. I'm not convinced with that argument. I mean, do we think that the AJ show is going to stop? I mean, AJ's what, 28, 29? Does it stop if he doesn't fight him again? Is that it? Dumb people aren't going to tune in. AJ's numbers go down drastically. I don't think so. I think they'll go down a little bit, right? I think his casual fans, and a few of them might tune out, but I think most people will still stay. If they have to rebuild him and he fights someone like a Pulev or someone else, anyone else, but Andy Ruiz Jr., I still think people will be interested. Maybe he doesn't do it in the stadiums, right? So maybe that hurts his bank balance a little bit. But in terms of the rebuild job, and trust me, there needs to be a rebuild job, they can still do it. AJ's young. What's the rush? That's what I'm kind of thinking. But I fully understand the argument where people say, nope, he has to get his belts back immediately. These belts could go all over the place. So what? If they go all over the place, that's not a problem. I think it'll be an interesting journey to see if he can get them all back. I mean, if they're still in search, and I say they in terms of Eddie Hearn and AJ and the management team, if they're still in search of the Wilder fight immediately, right, because it's a big money fight, then yeah, they need all their belts back to make that fight make sense. But if they're not running for that, and I don't think they should be running for that right now, especially after what happened a couple of weeks ago, then there is no rush here to fight Ruiz Jr. next. Whilst I've been thinking about this rematch, I've been thinking about some of the heavyweight rematches that have happened in recent times. I say recent times, sort of last 20 years, where a big underdog has beaten the favourite, and then all of a sudden the favourite immediately rematches and the underdog wins again, right? I mean, you think of Evander Holyfield, Tyson, and all these are different examples, but I'm just thinking of situations like underdog beating a favourite. Evander Holyfield, Tyson. I mean, Evander Holyfield was a massive underdog, more than Ruiz Jr., by the way. And that's funny, by the way, when you think of how good Evander Holyfield was, but he was a bigger underdog, more, I guess, to the star status of Mike Tyson. But obviously, the first fight happened, Tyson was stopped, and then the rematch, Tyson was obviously losing and then went desperate and bit the ear. Right? Again, that's one example. The other one is obviously David Price, Tony Thompson. That's the big one, I think, when, again, David Price, favourite to beat Tony Thompson, even though Tony Thompson was legit back then, lost, immediate rematch, lost, end of David Price. David Haye, Tony Bellew. Again, these are not examples in terms of how it might play out, but just in terms of underdog favourite. So David Haye, Tony Bellew. David Haye was a massive favourite in the first fight. I mean, so much so people were already talking about David Haye fighting AJ at Wembley. It was almost a done deal, right? Just beat the cocky Scouser and we'll see. He lost the first fight and everyone said, okay, it was because of the injury, etc., etc. He was then a favourite in the second fight and got bashed up in the second fight. Man, I don't know. Let me just say this. If nothing was wrong with Anthony Joshua, and I pray to God there was something wrong, and he's taken this rematch because of the pressure that he has to get his belts back and the machine needs to keep on going, the AJ machine, then this is a fucking big risk. This is such a big risk because I saw AJ get thoroughly outboxed. You don't all of a sudden become a better boxer than Ruiz Jr. in what are we talking here? 5-6 months. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, does he have to take this immediate rematch? I mean, is it a problem if he's not world champion? I mean, is it a problem? I mean, is it a problem if all of a sudden his purses go from, I don't know, 25 million to 10 million? Is this a problem? Can he not get them back slowly but surely? Don't know. I don't have a problem with him doing it that way. I mean, look, again, I like the immediate rematch as a fan, as a boxing fan. I think it's going to be a huge fight. But if I'm around Team AJ, you lose, that's that. That's that. Turn it now. Again, you lose, that is that. You think it's difficult now. You lose to Andy Ruiz Jr. back to back. It's a long way back. I mean, can he come back? Yeah, but it's a long, 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 long way back. And that's my fear. That's my one fear. But again, I'm not a professional sports person. Maybe that's just how I'm built in my life. But that's the scary thing. I mean, there are reasons Amir Khan didn't fight Danny Garcia again. Everyone was screaming for that rematch. Amir Khan didn't want no part of it. Because sometimes, you know, if you lose back-to-back to the same person, it's very difficult. Especially when both times, and I think even in the rematch, AJ will be favourite. It's not easy to come back from that. I mean, even Mike Tyson didn't. Yes, he got suspended for, what, a year and a half, but after that, it wasn't the same Tyson. He beat the likes of Francois Beaufort and those guys. But in terms of Mike Tyson being an elite heavyweight, that was done. I think it's fair to say David Price didn't come back from those back-to-back losses, and David Haye retired. Interesting. What do you guys think? Anyway, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think, please. Peace.